This is a great question, and one we get asked all the time. The first thing I'll say is that it isn't particularly common to move an old employer pension scheme across to your new employer pension scheme. It can be done, but not every provider or even new employer will let you do this. What is much more common is to move an old employer pension scheme into a personal pension to take control of your pension that way once you leave your old job. And if you're considering moving your pension, the first thing you need to do is to work out what kind of pension scheme you have. Not all pensions are created equally, and some are harder or easier to move depending on how they were set up. The best example of a pension that is trickier to move and needs much more advice to do so would be your final salary type scheme. Now, these schemes come with so many benefits associated with them. More often than not, it is best to leave that sort of pension where it is. But if you haven't got that kind of scheme and you've got more of a defined contribution style scheme, that sort of pension can move much more easily. However, having said that, some of these schemes still do have benefits associated with them, so it is always worth double checking. Once you've worked out that your pension scheme can in fact move, you then need to work out whether or not you should. And this is really where Killick & Co gets involved. And we help clients work out the performance their current scheme is getting, the fees they're paying there, how much control they have over the investment strategy, and really how tailored their pension is to their personal circumstances. Often these schemes get set up when you very first join the company you're working for, and over the years they're less and less I suppose, considerate of your personal circumstances. And often moving your pension gives you a great opportunity to then get your pension thinking much more about your circumstances than when it was first set up. And really, once you've reviewed your pension carefully and you've decided that you can improve the way it's set up, then you have a chance to take control and start running your pension in a much more tailored way. And this is really the kind of work we do for our clients. Most clients would move their pension from their old employer schemes across to a pension with us, really so that the investment strategy can be much more tailored to their circumstances, as we have a much wider investment universe to choose from. Many of the larger pension providers will give you some range of choice in terms of what you can invest in, but it will be limited in some way. And I suppose the final reason would be that you can then have your pension managed or looked after for you alongside the other investments and savings that you have, whereas it's much more difficult to do so when you have pensions dotted here, there, and everywhere. The final comment I'll make on pensions is make sure you know exactly what all your options are. Take an active interest in your pensions, work out where they are, work out what your options are, because they're likely to form really the backbone of your retirement options and your retirement plans. They're incredibly powerful investment vehicles if used correctly long term. So don't ignore it, work out what you can do with it, and get the best advice you can.